biasa. Macam last class saya akan gunakan quizzes lesson juga. So if you all would apply and share the link for the quizzes dekat dalam chat room, please join. Oh no, not this one, sorry, ini untuk saya. Saya kena buat code dulu. Okay, so link for the quizzes lesson saya baru post kat dalam chat room. Everybody please join. Kalau tak boleh, tak apa. This is not graded. Dia hanyalah dia hanyalah contain slides and practice questions. Kalau tak boleh, just pay attention dekat screen. Saya akan share the screen. Okay, yang baru join, please sign in attendance. Attendance link ada dekat dalam chat room. Kalau kamu masuk lambat, dekat dalam bahagian meeting detail. And also join this quizzes link. Number 18 column 16. So link untuk quizzes saya baru post it again. Okay, so before kita mula, saya nak bagi update on reference book yang saya baru link dekat dalam your ITEL. Let me share screen. So kalau kamu tak tahu lagi, dekat dalam ITEL ni saya ada link two reference book. The first one adalah dah share belum? So the first one adalah Martin Silberberg, Principles of General Chemistry. So if you click on this link, it can bring you to a new window to my Google Drive. So you just click download sini and then click download anyway. Okay, because the file terlalu besar, so the prompt another one. It gives out another prompt. Kalau tekan download ni, dia akan keluar another prompt. Google Drive can't scan the file for this virus because it's too big. You can download anyway. So kamu akan dapat a copy of ebook untuk Martin Silberberg. And then semalam saya baru add another one. Raymond Chang ebook reference. Raymond Chang. this is also a good reference book, very very detailed, not necessarily straight to the point, tapi dia explain in depth. Dia explain dengan bagus. It's very recent. It's a new edition. Also, saya based on some of the questions tutorial from this book also. Okay, so dia punya syllabus also is closely related dengan our syllabus. So kalau kamu nak bacaan lanjut, if you want more in-depth reading berkenaan this module, this syllabus, boleh tengok e-book reference. Very much. So semua macam tadi, if you click on the link, kamu akan dibawa ke my shared Google Drive punya link, and then tekan this download. Sama macam tadi, it's too big, cannot scan for virus, tekan download anyway. Okay, so tekan download anyway. Alright, so where's the item? Okay. So sekarang saya tengok 11 orang berjoin. Okay, so today kita akan masuk a new chapter, chapter 3, gases. Kita ada two big topics. First is gas laws. Okay, kita akan go in depth what are gases and how do we understand gas reactions, chemical reactions that involve gas. And then the second topic is the gas problems. How do we solve the problems that involves gas, involves the volume of gas, the molar of gas. Okay, so the stoichiometry of gas. It's a continuation from previous chapter, tapi we are dealing specifically on gases sahaja. Let me share my full screen. Senang saya boleh. Okay, so I'll start the lesson. Gas laws. Let me buka full screen. Okay, so gas, macam saya cakap tadi dalam this chapter kita akan discuss about gas, the chemical reactions that involve gas. But before we go into that, kita perlu tahu dulu what is exactly gas, what are the behaviors of gas, what are the properties of gas. So dalam this slide kita akan identify all those things lah. Okay, by the way saya dah bahagikan today's lesson to 4 part. Kesemuanya kita akan buat melalui playlist. The first 3 adalah lesson and the final one adalah straight up practice. Okay, so gas laws. What do we do with gas laws? Why doesn't it change? Okay, so gas laws and properties. So it is basically a set of relationships between pressure, volume, and temperature. So before we have developed gas laws ni basically kita dah specify because gases behave a certain way at different pressure, volume, dan juga temperature. Kita dah boleh, we have developed a certain set of equations yang boleh kita, yang membenarkan kita measure a certain amount of things by understanding this how they behave bila these properties are manipulated. Kalau kita naikkan pressure, what will happen to the gas? Kalau kita turunkan pressure, what will happen? So the same goes with volume and temperature. So by understanding this behavior, these properties, kita boleh calculate the concentration of gas, the volume of gas, the mass of gas, the particle, the number of atoms in a gas in a certain container. So we can do all those things by understanding how gases behave when they change, when we apply certain amount of pressure, volume, and temperature. So this is what we call gas law. Laws that the gas obey. It is, and when we talk about gas law, kita cakap tentang gas at 1 atmosphere. Tekanan yang ada di sekeliling kita ni lah. We're not talking about gases yang ada like in outer space, in high altitude ataupun very low altitude. Okay, so temperature and pressure. So as temperature increases, pressure increases. So this is what we observe. Bila kita naikkan suhu of certain things that contain gases, the pressure will increase. So this is a direct relationship. Hubungan ini dia berkadar terus. Kalau kita naikkan suhu sesuatu benda, dia punya tekanan akan meningkat. So this is an example. We have a pressure cooker. As the temperature in the pressure cooker increases, the pressure also increases, and vice versa. Kalau kita naikkan pressure, temperature also akan naik. That is how a pressure cooker works. That is how any yang tak accurate macam nasi lah. Kita beri nasi dia tak tutup rapat. A pressure cooker is sealed tight, airtight. So the pressure cannot the pressure inside the gas inside the cooker tak boleh keluar, and the gas outside the cooker tak boleh masuk. So that's why bagi contoh dalam gambar ni, dalam image ni, a pressure cooker. Okay. Next, temperature and volume. What is the relationship antara temperature and volume? Dalam previous slide tadi, it's a relationship antara temperature dan pressure. Okay, semakin tinggi temperature, semakin tinggi pressure, and vice versa. Vice versa means the other way around pun sama. Kalau kita naikkan pressure, temperature will also increase. And in this one,
sir, suara sir sekat-sekat sikit lah, tak jelas sangat.
Lain sikit.
Okay. Thank you, Ustaz. Kita nak Okay, so saya try continue. Kalau sekali-sekali kamu tolong beritahu ah. Okay, so next is temperature and volume. As temperature increases, the relationship antara temperature dan volume ni adalah as temperature increases, volume also increases. So it's a direct relationship, sama macam tadi. Okay, kalau kita naikkan suhu sesuatu benda, the volume, isi padu di dalam container itu also akan meningkat. And next, this is an example. Kalau kita naikkan suhu, volume also akan meningkat. Balloon, hot air balloon. So if you haven't seen how they set up this hot air balloon, this is how it begins. Dia akan baringkan dulu the basket that we go in, and then this is the balloon, and then this is the fire with methane gas. Dia akan panaskan the gases inside this balloon. So as the temperature inside the hot air balloon increases, the volume also increases. That's how dia jadi kembang, dia jadi kembung. Okay, so that is an example of this relationship. As we increase the temperature, the volume, and it works the other way around. So kalau kita naikkan volume, kita isi banyak gas di dalam this balloon, temperature dia also akan naik. That is the observation. So we know this from observation lah, kita test. Orang dulu before they develop gas law, they perform experiment. They have a hypothesis. Dia kata kalau kita panaskan the air inside this hot air balloon, I figure the volume will increase. That is their hypothesis. And then they test it out. So dia buatlah macam dalam this slide tadi. Dia panaskan the air inside the balloon, and then it turns out dia akan kembang and dia akan float up. Okay, so that is how we develop the gas law. That's basically how we develop anything. Okay, scientific theory. Next adalah pressure and volume. In the lower volume, the higher the pressure. Maksudnya dia berkadar songsang, the relationship antara pressure dan volume. As we lower, kalau kita kurangkan volume, kalau kita kurangkan isi padu, pressure, tekanan sesuatu gas tu akan semakin tinggi. So this is what we call an inverse relationship. So dalam satu lagi relationship, number of molecules and volume. So as the number of molecules increases, the volume will increase. So the most simple example yang kat sini saya boleh bagi adalah macam balon. So as you blow air into the balloon, balon tu akan berkembang. Kenapa dia berkembang? Kenapa semakin banyak molecule gas akan breathe into the balloon. So the volume will increase. And that is the relationship antara the number of molecules dan juga volume. So this is yang saya baru tunjukkan dulu are the gas laws, how a gas behave when we changes this certain things of pressure, volume and temperature. So dalam this question saya nak kamu jawab, if you lower the pressure of a metal container, kamu ada satu bekas besi, kalau kamu kurangkan dia punya tekanan, what will happen to its temperature? Meningkat. Suhu dia akan meningkat ke, menurun ke ataupun tak berubah? Kalau saya punya audio sekat-sekat lagi, tolong beritahu ha. Kurangkan tekanan, what will happen to the temperature? Apa contoh yang saya bagi tadi? The pressure cooker. Okay, so imagine a pressure cooker. If you increase the temperature inside a pressure cooker, what will happen? So just think the other way around. Think inversely. Okay, so I'll end the question dulu. Kind of you have answered. Jawapan yang betul adalah if you lower the pressure, the temperature will decrease. Okay, dia berkadar. The relationship antara pressure dan juga temperature adalah direct relationship. Dia berkadar terus. Meaning, kalau kita naikkan pressure, the temperature akan meningkat. Kalau kita turunkan pressure, the temperature akan menurun. Okay, itu maksud the relationship is direct. Next one, kamu maybe jawab salah sebab kamu tak hafal lagi kan. So I understand that. So this is the purpose of this practice. So that later, hopefully you remember and understand. Next one, Najula. So if you increase the temperature of a balloon, what will happen to its volume? So ingat banyak contoh hot air balloon tadi. Jadi kalau kita panaskan the gas that goes into the balloon, what will happen to the volume? Okay, oh dah 2 more people join. Thank you. I end dulu. So the answer is if you increase the temperature, the volume will also increase. Thank you, ramai orang ingat. So this is simple enough kan, because of the example hot air balloon. Kalau dulu masa saya student, saya just imagine kalau macam if we, kalau macam beberapa orang lah, katakanlah 5 orang duduk dalam satu bilik. Okay, bilik tu tertutup, so it's hot. So what will all the 5 people do in the room? Do they sit close to each other ke? Do they spread around the room? So the answer is, kalau manusia kita akan spread further across from each other lah kan, because panas, we don't want to stay close together. Okay, the heat will bundle up, so it gets more hot. So saya apply the same logic. The gas pun sama. The molecules doesn't sit together as the temperature increases. Okay, so they spread apart from each other. That's how the volume increases. Okay. You have to remember, gas ni dia tidak ada bentuk yang tetap, dia tidak ada volume yang tetap. Okay, so another one before we proceed. Gases, any gas, okay? Gas, there does not have definite shape. It does not have definite volume. Okay? Kalau dia tak ada definite shape, meaning kalau saya ada macam satu liter gas, oxygen gas, okay, and then this is the, katakanlah saya hold this in a cylinder container. So kalau saya nak tukar dia, this is 1 liter cylinder container. So if I pour this gas, this oxygen gas into a cube container, then the O2 gas will spread around, so the shape of the gas akan jadi bentuk cube. And if I pour this gas, the same gas, into a pyramid container, okay, so then the shape of the gas will be in the shape of a pyramid. Okay, katakanlah all of them are 1 liter and 1 liter. But kalau saya masukkan this 1 liter gas, oxygen gas yang ada dalam this cylinder container, saya masukkan dalam 2 liter. This is a 2 liter container. So the volume of the gas akan jadi 2 liter. Kalau saya tuang ni pula, same gas dalam cylinder container, same shape, tapi 10 liter. So the volume of the gas akan jadi 10 liter. So that is what I mean bila saya cakap gas tidak ada definite shape, tidak ada bentuk yang tetap dan dia tidak ada volume yang tetap. Ini kerana the molecules of gas dia tidak close to each other. Okay, kalau kita ada, if you're talking about solid, I draw a keratan lintas. Okay, so the atoms of solid dia akan tightly packed. Okay, dia akan duduk rapat-rapat, tightly next to each other. This is the atoms of a solid. Kalau liquid, they're a bit farther apart. That's why it moves around like that. Okay, so this is a liquid. So this is the atoms of a liquid. Okay, dia tidak tersusun rapi macam solid, but it's still close to each other. But gases is very different. Okay, they move in random, the molecules moves at random at different speed. It changes according to temperature and pressure. So that's why dia tidak ada bentuk yang tetap, dia tidak ada shape yang tetap. So that's why dia punya volume, dia punya temperature, dia punya pressure boleh berubah. Okay, bila kita ukur, bila kita naikkan temperature ke, bila kita turunkan. Okay, so that's how we understand, that's how we develop this gas law. Next slide. Okay, if you decrease the volume of a container, kamu ada satu bekas, kamu kurangkan volume dia, kamu sedut keluar. You have a tube, a vacuum motor, kamu sedut some of the volume. So what will happen to the pressure? So this is, we are talking about the relationship antara volume dan juga pressure. Option yang ada kat sini adalah increase, decrease, stay the same, sama macam tadi. Okay, so end question. The answer adalah inverse. Okay, so the relationship antara volume dan juga pressure adalah inverse. The relationship is inversely proportional, berkadar songsa. Meaning, if you decrease the volume, the pressure will increase. Increase the volume, the pressure will decrease. Alright, so I understand kalau kamu macam tak hafal lagi, but this is why we do this. Nanti apa nama akan ada slide yang macam bagi summary lah how it's better for you to remember. Next, if you increase the amount of molecules in a container, what will happen to the volume? So one of the ways kalau macam saya nak hafal, saya nak faham, ingat all these laws, I just apply. Macam contoh yang saya bagi tadi lah, kalau macam 5 orang, 5 friends in a room, it's hot, what will they do? So that's my way of memorizing. If you increase the amount of molecules in a container, what will happen to the volume? So this is, I think, much straightforward. Okay, I end the question. So ini pun kalau macam saya nak explain how I memorize this since I was a student. Apa nama? I just imagine if some we have a room and apa nama? More people go into the room. So the volume of the room akan jadi the volume of the person inside the room akan increase. That's not a good example because orang tak boleh nak tunjuk. Let me show you like this. Katakanlah we have a container. I just show you a container kosong. Okay, this is a container. Imagine this like a bekas Tupperware. Okay, like a food container. Kalau katakanlah saya masuk a certain amount of gas into this container. So katakanlah you imagine gases don't behave like this. So just imagine this is the line inside. So just imagine kalau saya masuk this is a 5 liter container. Katakanlah saya masuk a certain amount of gas that goes into this and it sits at the bottom. So at this bottom part is this gas yang kamu baru masukkan. Tapi as you fill in the second time, dia akan meningkat. It goes up. Just imagine a swimming pool, my bad. Ataupun bekas yang kita isi dengan air. Okay, so katakanlah bekas ni 5 liter, kita masukkan air. So kita dahulu kita masukkan certain amount of water in here, tapi it's not to the top yet, so it's not 5 liter. So kalau kita masukkan some more, paras air itu akan meningkat. So the volume increases. If you put more water in here, the paras air akan meningkat. Okay, so that's what it means. The more molecules of water we put here, this is my example. If you put in water inside this container, the volume will increase. Okay, so as more molecules of water goes into the container, the volume increases. So that's how I remember. Saya tak hafal, but I can derive bila saya faham the logic. Okay, so that's the relationship antara the number of molecules dan juga dengan volume. So volume akan meningkat, isi padu akan meningkat kalau lebih banyak molekul ditambah ke dalam sesuatu bekas. Okay, so that's the first lesson. Okay, we take 5 now. Tapi sementara kita rehat tu, saya nak invite to another one. Kita akan sambung straight after this break. Let me get to the behavior of gas. So dalam this lesson kita akan go in detail lah what are the behaviors of gas. How do they exactly react and what are exactly the gas laws, nama-nama gas laws. Slow sikit saya unshare dulu. Copy link, chat room. Okay, so the link to the new lesson ada kat dalam chat room. Please join dulu. In 5 minutes kita akan Okay, I'm back. Mau join ke? Okay, so kita akan start with the second part of our lesson today. Again, kalau audio saya sekat-sekat, tolong beritahu. So kita masih lagi dalam topik gas, the ideal gas law. Kita masih lagi nak faham. I'm trying to get you understand kenapa gases behave this way. Kenapa, what are the things that affect the behavior of gases? So that's why we are here. So in this topic, kita nak tengok the behavior of gases. Next slide. So dalam this one, what do you think? What are some examples of gases in the Earth's atmosphere? Apa yang kamu boleh bagi? Contoh gas yang kamu dah sedia tahu. Go ahead, from the top of your head. What are the gases that you know? So one of you guys answered oxygen, so that is true. The ones that we breathe in, the ones that plants spit out, photosynthesis, carbon dioxide also the same, nitrogen, oxygen. So most of people would probably say oxygen lah, because that's the ones that kita guna untuk to breathe. Yeah, our body needed oxygen, so we breathe in oxygen and we filter out most of other gases. And then we use it to transfer hemoglobin from blood cells throughout our body. Yeah, but in reality, only 20%, 20-something% adalah oxygen. Most of the gases that we breathe in, that is in our atmosphere, adalah nitrogen. 70% kalau tak silap saya adalah nitrogen. 20% adalah oxygen, the rest are carbon dioxide and some other noble gases, gas-gas nadir. Neon, argon, radon, and krypton. It just traces amount lah, less than 1% of noble gases. Paling banyak sekali adalah nitrogen. So thank you for answering. So most of you still remember your science pernah. So all those gases that within the confines of our atmosphere can behave according to the ideal gas behavior. So what are exactly these things? This behavior. Nak tengok kat sini, the properties of gas. So these are the things yang saya dah macam lukis masa saya cerita tadi tu. So the properties of gas are like gases expand to fill their containers. That's why gas tidak ada bentuk yang tetap. Saya lukis tadi, kalau kita asalnya gas tu kita dalam satu container silinder. Kalau kita masukkan gas tu dalam bekas berbentuk cube, gas tu akan berbentuk cube. Kalau kita tuang the same gas into a ball shaped container, dia akan juga bentuk bola. Okay? So this is because the property, the chemical property of a gas, dia akan expand to fill their containers. Because the atoms of the gas moves freely in random. Next adalah they spread out easily and mix with one another. So that's why the air that we breathe in is a mixture of gases, because they spread out easily and mix with one another. The bond between the atoms of different gases are very weak. That's why they can move farther apart from each other, so they spread out and mix with one another. That's why the air that we breathe in adalah a mixture of nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and all those noble gases yang saya mentioned. Number 3, they have low densities and are compressible. Dia punya ketumpatan adalah rendah, and they are compressible, meaning kita boleh compress, kita boleh tekan dia. So kita boleh change dia punya volume if we apply a certain amount of pressure. Number 4, gases are mostly empty space. As I said tadi, the chemical bond between the atoms of a gas are very weak. That's why they spread out. They move around in random. So most gases are mostly empty space. They are made up of empty space. And number 5, gases exert pressure on their containers. Bermaksud macam balon tadi lah. Okay, kalau kamu tiup, if you breathe out, if you exhale into a balloon, dia akan berkembang. This is an example of gases exert pressure. Maksudnya atom-atom gas tu akan memberikan tekanan pada bekas yang dia isi. So semakin banyak gas goes into a balloon, it goes bigger. So it will go big until at one point it pops, dia pecah because tekanan sangat tinggi. So that's why certain things, kalau macam contohnya kamu ada satu bekas air gas. Okay, kalau kita macam duduk satu bilik yang panas, at certain point dia akan meletup, dia akan pop because the pressure is high from the temperature, from the increase in temperature. So these are the 5 properties of gases. So we develop the gas laws according to these properties. So answer this question, gases are compressible, true or false? Gas boleh ditekan. Saya tak tahu bahasa Melayu dia apa. Compressible. Not sure what it means. Kalau bahasa Inggeris, compress means tempatkan dia. Kamu tekan. Have bekas air tin. Compress it. So, dia kat sini, can gas be compressed or not? So the answer is yes, gases are compressible. Kita boleh apply tekanan pada gas and then volume dia boleh menurun. Next question, gas do not expand. Gases do not expand, true or false? Betul ataupun tidak? Yes, true or false? So the answer is false. Okay, gases expand and they fill up the container that it is in. Okay, so the answer is false. Next slide. So what are gas laws? So kita dah tengok tadi in the previous lesson. Kita tengok relationship antara temperature and volume, temperature and pressure and so on. So the gas laws are basically what? Volume of a gas is the same as the volume of the gaseous container. But you must consider other factors such as pressure. So this is what the foundation of the gas law, the principle of a gas law. Okay, so this is how we develop, this is how we understand the gas law. Isi padu sesuatu gas tu sama dengan isi padu bekas yang dia duduk. Okay, macam remember my contoh tadi, kalau kita ada satu bekas, bekas silinder, isi 1 liter cylinder container, we fill it up, the volume will be 1 liter. We take it and we put it into a pyramid shaped container, the shape will be pyramid and then the volume will be as same as the container. Okay, tetapi kita mesti consider other factors such as pressure, because pressure can change the behavior of gas, because kita dah establish tadi gases are compressible. So the gas law describe how behavior of gases is affected by pressure, volume and temperature. Okay, this is the purpose of the gas law. This is why the gas law exists. Dia nak describe, dia nak terangkan macam mana gas ni terkesan oleh tekanan isi padu dan juga gas laws help you understand and predict the behavior of gases in specific situations. Sometimes in pharmacy tak banyak sangat application, but in the manufacturing of pharmaceutical drugs, kita nak formulate certain drugs, you have to have a certain certain set of temperature, pressure, and volume. So it's not necessarily directly related to in pharmacy, but in pharmacy manufacturing, understanding gas plays a big role in the scope of like kalau cakap tentang space travel lagilah penting. Okay, so the application of understanding gas laws are very minimal, very little in pharmacy, but it is most specific dalam pharmaceutical drugs manufacturing. So it's still a set of skills that is good for our pharmacists to have. Dalam soalan ni, saya nak kamu cuba jawab, gas laws help to describe what? So this is a short essay, short answer question. Daripada apa yang kamu dah tahu from the previous slides, kamu cuba jawab, gas law ni nak terangkan apa? So not all practice ni multiple choice questions. Kalau kita ada short answer question macam ni, you have to think back. What do you understand in the previous slides yang saya baru terangkan? So you are working your brain macam mana nak connect the dots. If you can connect the dots easily, kamu faham the logic, the concept, so it will help you understand better. Kamu tak hafal. You understand and kamu boleh recall, kamu boleh understand A akan causes B, B akan causes C. So if you do that, you get familiar with the connection of the dots, rely less on memorization. Okay, so kat sini ada orang jawab describe pressure, volume and temperature of gas. Ada orang jawab how the behavior of gases is affected by pressure, volume and temperature. So that's a good answer. How they affected by that's a good answer. So ada jawapan kat sini tak complete, inaccurate. Okay, contohnya macam the first answer ni. Sorry lah Farizal, I take your answer. Nothing wrong with being wrong. Okay, saya tak cakap salah, but inaccurate. Okay, so pressure, gas law dia tak describe pressure, volume and temperature sahaja. Dia describe how the behavior of gas is affected. So jawapan daripada Atika ni is more accurate, lebih jelas. Okay, so because the gas law akan bagi tahu kita sesuatu gas tu akan, what will happen to the gas kalau kita naikkan temperature. What will happen to the gas kalau kita apply a certain amount of pressure, if you reduce the amount of pressure. Okay, so gas law nak terangkan pada kita apa akan berlaku pada gas tu kalau kita apply changes on the temperature, pressure and volume. So that is a more accurate way of answering this question. So kalau macam, so this is why saya nak kamu try jawab, so that kamu boleh, kalau kamu salah pun, see that some of you kat sini faham. Okay, so that's the right answer. You describe the relationship between the behavior of the gas with pressure, temperature and volume. So let's get to the first gas law, iaitu Boyle's law. Kita dah tengok ni tapi tadi kita just tengok the relationship sahaja, kita tengok dia punya nama law tu. So the first law adalah Boyle's law. Boyle's law is a person yang develop this law. Dia nampak dulu the relationship of volume and pressure of a gas. So Boyle's ni is a British chemist. He was doing at the time he was doing a lot of experiments with gases. So the British monarchy bagi grant, bagi money, dia punya physicists, scientists are basically chemists untuk buat experiments so that dia boleh thrive dia punya industrial sector. So that's why London dulu in the early 1700s, I forgot the year. So they were booming with industrial sector. So London becomes in a flip of a second, daripada a small town to a big manufacturing state, city, yes. Okay, so because of the development of understanding of how things work. So Boyle's law is a person yang discovered this relationship antara the volume and the pressure of gas. The pressure of gas. Next slide. Next point. hang lagi. Malam one of my classes sampai hang sampai okay. So dalam Boyle's law ni, it states for a fixed amount of gas at a constant temperature, the volume of a gas increases as the gas's pressure decreases. Likewise. So kat sini maybe nampak macam confusing because the way that it dia susun ayat dia. Tapi basically apa yang dia maksudkan adalah the volume of gas increases. Isi padu sesuatu gas akan meningkat kalau kita naikkan, kalau kita kurangkan pressure. Okay, so dia punya relationship is inverse. Macam tadilah the previous lesson, the relationship antara pressure dan juga volume adalah inversely proportional, berkadar songsam. So as the volume increases, the pressure decreases. And kita kat sini likewise the other way around. Kalau kita kurangkan pressure, the volume will also increase. So this is described better in this equation. This is the equation of Boyle's law. Okay, so P1 equals to P2 V2. So we are describing the gas, the same gas, tapi the changes in pressure and volume. So P is for pressure, V is for volume. And kalau kita nak observe this behavior, the temperature must be constant. Temperature tidak berubah. Itu maksud constant. So next slide. Okay, so what happened to the pressure between two steps? So dalam this question, ada satu gambar aja, ada dua situation kat sini. We have a container with a piston on top. So dalam ni ada gas. And then at one point dia akan turunkan piston ni. So jadilah macam the diagram on the right, the picture on the right. So maksudnya they apply pressure, they change the pressure, they increase the pressure. So what happened? Allah, saya dah jawab soalan. So what happened to the pressure between the two steps? So kamu tengok from these pictures, from these two pictures, what happened to the volume? Isi padu of the gas, apa terjadi? And tengok pada pressure, what happened? So dalam situasi ni, temperature tak terlibat pun. Ni temperature is constant. So this is, I enlarge it. Okay, so this is the initial state of the gas. Di dalam satu bekas, and then in the final state, masih lagi dalam satu bekas, tapi piston ni dah go down. So soalan tanya, what happened to the pressure? So I end dulu the question. Macam saya cakap tadi, saya dah bagi jawapan. So the answer is we have increased the pressure. Tekanan semakin kita dah apply pressure, kita dah tekankan dia. We have compressed the gas. So kalau kamu macam kalau kamu nak gambaran, this is the picture yang kamu boleh imagine kalau kamu nak kaitkan tekanan dan juga volume. So in the initial state, dalam keadaan awal ni, in the picture on the left, the atoms of the gas are spread out farther apart. Tapi bila dia apply pressure, dia turunkan piston ni, so kita dah limitkan the space of the gas to move. Kita ruang untuk gas tu bergerak dah semakin kecil. So we have applied pressure. So when we apply pressure, as you can see from the pictures, the volume dah semakin rendah, isi padu semakin rendah. So that means kalau kita nak susun balik, kalau kita nak describe the situation in using gas law, kita boleh guna Boyle's law, because Boyle's law state at constant temperature, if we increase pressure, the volume will be padu akan menurun kalau kita naikkan tekanan. So this is the visualization of the Boyle's law. Okay, kita apply pressure, isi padu menurun. Okay, kalau ada some people, termasuklah saya dulu, I don't understand what is isi padu. Okay, so kita go back, okay, kita go back tengok pada keluasan. Okay, kalau saya ada satu shape kat sini, if we have a square, kalau kita nak ukur keluasan sesuatu shape ni, kita mestilah tahu dia punya panjang dan dia punya lebar. So kalau kita tahu dia punya panjang adalah katakanlah 2 cm, dia punya lebar pun 2 cm. So the area of the square adalah 2/2 kan? 2/2 cm, dapatlah 4 cm. So kita hanya mengukur keluasan the space that is within these 4 lines. Ini adalah area. Okay, isi padu pula, it's good lah if you understood already, but for the sake of people yang tak faham, isi padu, volume, what is volume? Isi padu, kita tambah one more dimension. Okay, so this is area ni hanyalah 2D, 2 dimension. Why is it 2 dimension? Because kita hanya measure 2 dimensions only, the length and the width, panjang dan juga lebar. Astaga, sorry, my bad. So 2 cm ni adalah panjang, 2 cm ni adalah lebar, length and width. Itu maksud 2 dimension. So kalau volume, we are dealing with 3-dimensional space, 3D. So katakanlah kita ada satu container, bekas dia dalam bentuk cube. Okay, so this is a cube. How do we measure the volume of this cube? So we know kalau bentuk dia cube, dia mestilah shape of each side adalah square. So we need to measure panjang dan juga lebar. Tapi kita ada lagi satu dimension here, dia naik ke atas kan. So this is the third dimension, iaitu height. Length, width and height. So kalau nak cari the space within this container, kita perlu kalikan all these 3, height, darab, width, darab and length. So that is the volume of this cube container. Okay, so that is volume. Kita tengah cakap the space within a space, within a container, within a thing. Okay, so this is the 3-dimensional measurement, right? So kita cakap tentang a gas of volume of a gas, itulah maksudnya. Bila kita tengok the space within this bekas yang ada piston ni, kalau kita nampak dia punya space makin berkurang, maksudnya the volume pun semakin berkurang, because we are actually talking about the space that is available for the gas to move around. Okay, so next slide. Bear with me ya, ada sikit lagi dan kita take another break. Ni kena jawab tak? What happened to the volume between the two steps? Is this the same? Yeah, this is the same. Okay, so the answer adalah, sorry ya, saya Anne. Kita dah jawab tadi, the same one.
So tadi bukan pressure tu.
Oh sorry, saya silap baca ke? Ini dia tanya what happened to the volume. Oh, okay, it's a continuation. Sorry, saya tak baca soalan. My bad. Okay, so tadi dia tanya what happened to the pressure. Okay, dalam this question dia tanya what happened to the volume. Alright, my bad. So kat sini ramai orang jawab volume is decreased. So saya dah explain bahagian volume tadi, so saya fikir ini soalan yang sama. But it's a continuation, kesinambungan. Tadi dia tanya what happened to the pressure. So kita nampak piston ni turun, maksudnya kita dah apply pressure. So pressure, kita tingkatkan pressure. Dalam soalan ni dia tanya what happened to the volume. Ini situasi yang sama. So the volume is decreased. Kalau kamu tengok the space in the initial state besar, luas. In the final state, semakin mengecil. Dia sudah turunkan piston. The space for the atoms of the gas to move around dah semakin berkurang. So the volume of the gas also semakin berkurang. So the volume is decreased. Okay, so the purpose of these two questions nak tunjuk pada kamu the relationship, the hubung kait antara pressure dan juga volume. Okay, so next one. Okay, soalan panjang sikit. A flask contains 155 centimeter cubic. Centimeter cubic bersamaan dengan milliliter lah unit tu. Of hydrogen at a pressure of 22.5 kilopascal. So under what pressure would the gas have a volume of 90 centimeter cubic at the same temperature? Alright, so ini soalan Boyle's law. So the equation to Boyle's law tadi adalah P1 V1 equals to P2 V2. Okay, try guna P1 V1 equals to P2 V2 to solve this problem. Ada dua sahaja pilihan jawapan. Okay, tulis dulu apa yang kamu tahu. Kamu tahu kamu ada hydrogen gas. And the volume adalah 155 cm cubic. The pressure is 22.5 kPa kilopascal. And then dia kata kat sini under what pressure. That means dia nak tahu pressure. Dia nak tahu what will have. Dia nak tahu under what pressure would the gas have a volume of 90 cm. So maksudnya dia nak kurangkan volume. Asalnya the volume is 155, nak kurangkan jadi 90. So kalau kita dah kita tahu kita boleh kurangkan volume kalau kita apply pressure. So dia tanya kat sini exactly what is the pressure that needs to be applied to reduce the volume from 155 to 90. Let me write down also kita ada hydrogen gas. Sorry, the hydrogen ada. Tapi hydrogen gas lah H2. So the volume V1 is 155 centimeter cubic. The pressure is 22.5 kilopascal. Okay. And then V1. And then V2, dia suruh kita cari V2 no. Okay, we need to apply a certain amount of pressure untuk kurangkan dia punya V2 kita tak tahu, kita nak cari. Okay, we don't know. V2 kita nak kurangkan dia punya pressure jadi 90 kan tadi tak silap. Jadi 90 cm. Kita tulis dulu and then saya akan tulis jalan kerja. So let's see how far Pramera jawab. So 5 of you answered this one and 2 this one. Okay, try buat low. Let me work it kat sebelah. This is how I solve problem of gases. Saya tulis dulu what do we have, what gas do we have, volume apa kita ada, apa yang dah beritahu kita lah basically. So kita tahu sini temperature tak berubah, constant. How do I know it's constant? Kalau saya tengok dia punya soalan, saya tulis kat sini at the same temperature. Itu maksudnya temperature tak berubah. That means temperature constant. So kalau problem to describe relationship antara pressure and volume and the temperature is constant, that means we are dealing with gas that obey Boyle's law. Kita boleh solve problem that involve gases that obey gas law using Boyle's equation, Boyle's law formula, iaitu P1 equals to P2. Sekarang kita nak cari P2, kita tak tahu. So kita jadikan this P2 as our unknown. Terus setelah P2 duduk sorang-sorang dia, P2 ni bawa ke bawah. This P1 and P1. Jadilah P1 divided by P2. So from here, kita isi tempat kosong. So P1 is apa tadi? 22.5 kVA. Always write with the unit. V1 is 155 centimeter cubic divided by 90 centimeter cubic. So kalau tulis unit, cancel out. So the final unit adalah kilopascal. So tekanan kalkulator 22 darabkan 155 bahagi 90. How much do you get? So let's get back to the slide. Ramai kena jawab. Okay, so I end dulu 10 of you have answered. So jawapannya adalah, I'm guessing most of you. Okay, thank you. Ramai orang jawab betul. So 38.8 kilopascal. So how do you get this? Maybe macam simpan ni lah. Okay, so 22 darabkan 5. Let me calculate this. 22.5 darab dengan 155 and then divide by 9. Then the answer is 38.75. Sama macam ni kan, 38.8 lah. Budarkan. Okay, so remember about significant figures also. Tengok kat dalam soalan ni, the data that you have, the most significant figure yang kamu ada adalah 3. Okay, 155, 3 significant figures. 22.5, 3 significant figures. 90.0, also 3 significant figures. So your final answer should be in 3 significant figures. Okay, and this is how you solve gas law problem. Okay, kamu baca the problem, the questions, kamu write down what do you have. You have the volume, you have the pressure, and you have the N volume. So what do we want to know? We want to know the N pressure. So identify dulu, ini gas ni dia obey law mana satu. So dia kata kat sini the temperature is constant. So from there kita boleh kita tahu Boyle's law state the temperature constant and the problem is describing a relationship antara pressure and volume. We can solve the problem using Boyle's law equation. This V1 equals to V2. Okay, that's how you get the answer. Okay, kalau kamu macam ada problem nak hafal, don't worry. Nanti saya akan bagi satu cara untuk you don't need to hafal, kamu boleh derive this formula. Kamu just hafal satu formula, kamu boleh derive 4 more formulas of that. Okay, so you just need to hafal satu benda lah. So next law, lepas law ni kita take 5 ya. Next law adalah Gay-Lussac's law. Okay, Guy is a French guy, Lussac also is a French guy. They work together, they developed this law. So this law relates gas pressure to temperature. And the kata, it states here the pressure of a gas increases. Tekanan meningkat as temperature increases. Ingat macam contoh macam the previous lesson tadi lah, the hot air balloon. Kita panaskan the gas, the volume, the temperature increases, the pressure also increases. So if the volume of the gas does not change, the pressure decreases as the temperature decreases. So kat sini describe hubung kait antara pressure, tekanan dan juga temperature. So yang tak terlibat kat sini adalah volume. That's why dia kata if the volume does not change. So kalau Boyle's law tadi, temperature does not change. Kalau dalam Gay-Lussac's law, the volume does not change. Okay, so this is the relationship lah. It's direct. Kalau kita tingkatkan pressure, the temperature also increases. And the next law adalah Charles' law, also a British and English chemist. So ada hang. Okay, so Charles' law relates temperature to volume. The higher the temperature, the higher the volume. So for a fixed amount of gas, maksudnya bilangan the amount of gas, kandungan gas tu tak berubah. So kalau kandungan gas tak berubah, the volume isi pada gas tersebut akan meningkat kalau temperature meningkat. Okay, this is also macam apa contoh macam dalam hot air cooker, known as the volume. Adalah hot air balloon lah. Okay, so kalau kita masukkan the same amount of gas dalam hot air balloon tu, dalam balloon tu, kalau kita panaskan dia, the temperature, the volume will increase. Okay, because kalau kita panaskan macam contoh saya bagi tadi, kalau kita panaskan sesuatu room, kalau bilik tu panas, ada ramai orang dalam bilik tu, they will not like hug around each other. They akan stay farther apart from each other. So the same logic applies untuk gases. Kat sini dia kata for a fixed amount of gas. So kandungan gas tu constant. Contoh kat sini bagi. So because of Charles' law, an inflated balloon will pop when it gets too hot. So dalam this next question, practice here. Dia bagi satu situasi kalau kita ada when a basketball is left outside in the cold, it goes flat because the volume of the air inside has been reduced. So what gas law does this represent? Gas law apa yang describe situasi ini? Kita buat satu bola basketball, put it outside in the cold, okay, and then dia jadi lembek, jadi pancing. Okay, so angin dia dah berkurang. So kenapa angin dia berkurang? Kerana volume isi balon angin di dalam bola tu semakin berkurang. So what gas law describe this situation? So dia bagi pilihan either Boyle's law ataupun Charles' law. Kalau kamu tak tahu, kamu boleh tahu. Charles' law baru kita lepas tadi. Charles' law state for a fixed amount of gas. Kita bagi contoh balloon tadi. So temperature and volume. Oh, that's the answer. So I end the question. So yang describe this behavior of this gas adalah Charles' law. Okay, kalau kita sejukkan sesuatu gas, dia punya volume akan berkurang. Okay, saya suka imagine ini because this is exactly how I remember this stuff dulu as a student. Kalau kamu ada macam satu bilik, kamu pasang aircon maksimum 16 degrees Celsius. Katakanlah kamu pergi dengan kawan-kawan kamu, 5 orang pergi Cameron Highland, sejuk, bangun pagi, adakah kamu maybe not kawan-kawan, kalau kamu if you're very close friends, kalau kamu pagi-pagi very cold, what do you do? Do you like sit farther apart from each other ataupun close together? So the same thing lah, dia akan stick closer with each other so that they get the warmth of each other's body heat. So the same applies untuk gases, the atoms of these gases. Kalau kita sejukkan, kalau kita kurangkan temperature, the volume will be reduced because the gas does not spread farther apart from each other. Dia akan try to conserve energy by moving just close with each other. Okay, so that's why the volume is reduced. Kalau kita kurangkan temperature. And just, sudah saya ingat. I don't know if it works for you or not. Try lah. Kalau kamu ingat, you let me know. Okay, so the answer is Charles' law because Charles' law describe the relationship antara volume dan juga temperature. Next one, kita ada lagi 3 more slides. When a basketball is left outside, the same. Isn't this the same one? Saya silap. The same one kan? Kamu dah jawab dah kat sini. Yes, Charles' law. Next slide. Okay, so this is the next one. Slide 16. So this is a picture. Let me besarkan. So this is the picture of something in a microwave. They expand. Okay, so this is what is this? A bread? cream, foam. So what happens is it has exploded. It expands sampai at a certain point, it exploded. So which law best describes this situation? Dia bagi 4 options kat sini. Kita tak cover pun Landis and Boyle. So basically ada 2 sajalah pilihan. Okay, either Boyle or Charles. Okay, so kita dah tahu tadi Charles describe antara volume dan juga temperature. Boyle describe kalau temperature constant, maksudnya volume dengan pressure. So which law best describe this, what just happened in this microwave? So in the spirit of nak rehat, I end the question and I'll elaborate. 10 orang dah jawab. Okay, so the answer adalah Charles, sama juga. So kalau kita put food in the microwave, that can heat up that can vibrate the molecules of water. That's how microwave work. That can radiate, that can vibrate the H2O molecules within our food, and then the temperature will increase. So as the temperature increase, the volume will also increase. So that's how certain food expand, kita masukkan dalam microwave ataupun even in oven. Kalau kita panaskan certain nak masak bread, nak masak roti, nak bread dalam oven, naikkan temperature, it will rise. So in this case pun Charles law juga. Okay, so the temperature, the volume increase as we increase the temperature. Next question, we have 2 more. So dalam this situation, which law best described? Okay, 2 saja. Either Charles or Boyle. So what happens here is we have a ping pong ball and kemet. It is dented. So if you put it in hot water, boiling water, lama kelamaan that dent tu, kemet tu akan get back to shape. So what happens here? Apakah bola ping pong tu boleh kembali kepada rupa asal? Why do you think? Okay, so 11 have answered. Sorry yang tak boleh jawab. So this is bila kita panaskan the volume, masih lagi Charles. The volume, the gas inside the ping pong ball tu, bila dipanaskan, dia punya volume akan increase. So bila volume dia increase, dia need more space to move. So this dam here mengecilkan space, mengecilkan volume of the ping pong ball. So kalau temperature naik, the atoms of the gas akan mengembang, akan spread further apart from each other. So that's why they tolak the dam back into shape. Okay, so Charles law lah yang describe. And then our second final slide, second final question. After this, after having the take 5, maybe take 10. Which law best describe a syringe? Okay, any syringe, most of you have encountered a syringe lately in this week. So ada 2 pilihan kat sini, masih lagi Charles ataupun Boyle. So how does this work? If you push the syringe, what will happen to the volume inside the syringe? If we pull the syringe, what will happen to the inside of the syringe? Okay, most of you have answered. I basically dah tolong jawab masa saya describe pull and push tadi. So what happens is boil. Okay, relationship antara tekanan dan juga volume. Temperature tak main peranan pun dalam ni. Temperature tak berubah, suhu tidak berubah. So as we apply pressure, the volume inside the syringe semakin berkurang. Kalau kita push the syringe, ke depan, the volume akan keluar lah, anything that is the solution inside the syringe akan keluar. If you pull it back, the volume will be increased. So that is an example of Boyle's law, gas yang mematuhi Boyle's law. And then final question, Charles' law states what? Kita siap saya short answer. Okay, so Charles' law, kamu dah jawab 3-4 soalan yang berkait dengan Charles' law. So try to go the other way around. Charles' law describes what? As pressure goes up, volume goes down. So many of you jawab option number 3. Dua option number 3 makin banyak. Kau kawan ke apa? Option number 3 kata as volume goes up, temperature goes up. Alright, so as the usual 10 have answered. 11, okay. So and the question, the answer is correct. The third option. As volume goes up, temperature goes up. Remember macam contoh soalan basketball tadi. Tak bola basketball dekat luar tempat sejuk, and then the next day dia punya pancit angin dah berkurang. But isi padu dah berkurang. Kenapa isi padu berkurang? Because temperature. Okay, so that's it untuk lesson number 2 ni. So let's take 5 and then kita akan continue with the next lesson. Thank you for participating. I can share the next one. Where is it? Okay, I'm back. This is the last 20 minutes lagi, and then that's it for the day. Okay, so right now kita dah tengok saya nak kamu fokus on the three of the gas law yang kita dah go over tadi, iaitu Boyle's law, Charles law dan juga Gay-Lussac's law. Alright, so dalam buku ni saya nak tunjuk nama chapter 5. Wait a minute, bear with me, chapter 5, ideal gas law. Okay. Kita dah go over Boyle's law, Charles law dan juga Gay-Lussac's law. Okay, kita dah tengok dah the relationship of volume, pressure and temperature. So, sekarang saya nak perkenalkan to another equation. Okay, so dalam this equation, yang dikenali sebagai the ideal gas equation, it is a combination of all the gas law tadi tu. Okay, dia akan combine Boyle's law, Charles law dan juga Avogadro's law. Basically, they describe the same thing as Gay-Lussac's law. Volume berkadar terus dengan bilangan mole. So kalau dalam Boyle's law, dia describe relationship antara volume dan juga pressure. So dia berkadar sengsang. Maksudnya kalau kita naikkan volume, the pressure will go down, pressure decrease. That is the Boyle's law. Kalau Charles law, relationship antara volume dan juga temperature, dia berkadar terus. Maksudnya kalau kita naikkan volume, the temperature will also increase. If we decrease the temperature, the volume will decrease. Kalau dalam Avogadro's law, which is basically the same as Gay-Lussac's law tadi, they describe the relationship antara bilangan mole. N ni is a symbol for bilangan mole. So bilangan mole berkadar terus dengan volume. The more mole, the more number of atoms, the more molecules, the more number of particles are there. So the amount of volume will also increase. Okay, so these are the equation for all the gas law. So in real life, sometimes certain problems dia tidak berlaku pada at constant temperature. Dia tidak berlaku pada constant pressure. Yes.
Sir tak share screen lagi ya?
Allah, thanks. Yes, my bad. Thank you beritahu. Okay, so this is yang saya label tadi. Ideal gas equation. So dalam this penama the gas equation, macam saya cerita panjang tadi, Boyle's law, dia describe relationship antara volume dan juga pressure. So dia berkadar sengsang. As we increase the volume, pressure akan menurun sebab dia dalam berkadar sengsang 1/P. So the relationship is V berkadar terus dengan 1/P. So dia sengsang lah. Kalau berkadar terus macam Charles law, volume dan temperature. So the relationship is direct. Okay, so as we increase the volume, the temperature will increase. As we decrease the volume, the temperature decrease. And it works vice versa also. Terbaliklah, kalau if we change temperature, volume also will change. Dalam Avogadro's law, which is essentially sama macam Gay-Lussac's law, to describe relationship antara volume dan juga the number of moles. This N here is for the number of moles. Okay, so as we increase the amount of moles inside a container, the volume will also increase. So sometimes problems, saya nak cerita tentang perlunya the ideal gas equation ni, is because sometimes problems that involves gas doesn't occur at constant temperature, constant pressure and temperature. Sometimes everything changes. So we need something, an equation to explain, to solve problems yang berlaku yang mana temperature tak constant, pressure yang mana satunya pun tak constant. So we combine all this law, Boyle's law, Charles law and Avogadro's law ni, and we get the ideal gas equation, iaitu PV equals to nRT. Okay, so P is for pressure, V is for volume, N is for the number of moles, R is a constant, yang mana maksudnya dia tidak berubah. The value of R does not change, which is for this equation to work, we still need something to be constant. So the factor that could make this equation work is the value of R kat sini. Okay, so the value of R adalah, kita tulis kat sini, 0.00821, later saya akan tunjuk. And T is for pressure, temperature. So kalau kita ada come across a problem yang mana tak ada satu pun yang constant, pressure tak constant, volume tak constant, a number of moles tak constant, temperature pun tak constant. So we cannot use Boyle's law. Tak boleh guna Charles' law to solve that problem. Tak boleh guna Gay-Lussac's law, tak boleh guna Avogadro's law. So we have to use the ideal gas equation to solve the problem. Yang mana all those things tak constant tadi tu. Okay? So this is the formula yang saya cakap tadi, the only one that you need to memorize, yang kamu perlu hafal. Because from this equation, kamu boleh derive Boyle's law. Kamu boleh derive Charles' law. Kamu boleh solve those problems yang perlu guna Boyle's law, Charles' law, Avogadro's law ataupun Gay-Lussac's law. Okay? So this is known as the ideal gas equation. And this is the value of R. Value R yang constant yang saya cakap tadi tu. So R, kalau kita our parameters of volume dalam unit liter, pressure dalam unit ATM, temperature dalam unit Kelvin, and this is the amount of mole. This is the value yang kita guna, iaitu 0.082057. Sometimes dalam textbook dia guna 8206. Okay, so I'll show you an example how to use this equation. How to use this equation to solve a problem. Tadi dah load. Okay, so dalam this slide, kamu tak perlu join lah. So dalam this slide dia cerita if you have a problem, kira boleh tak? Never mind. So dia kata kat sini the ideal gas law, if you need to find the value of pressure, volume, temperature or N. You can easily solve them using the ideal gas law, PV equals to nRT. So the only one that is constant in this case adalah the value of R lah, because we cannot change. It's not a thing. It's just a value that the person who developed this equation, they perlu cari something that is constant so that this equation makes sense. So the value of R does not change. Everything else changes. Okay? So you can find the value of P kalau kamu rearrange the formula. And you can find the value of P if you rearrange jadi macam ni. Kamu find the number of moles, kamu rearrange. So you can find all four parameters using only PV equals to nRT. Okay, tapi you have to pay attention to the unit lah. So the value of R tu berbeza mengikut unit yang kamu guna. So kalau the unit of volume is liter, pressure is ATM, temperature is Kelvin, this is the value yang kamu guna. 0.082057 tadi, dekat sini dah bundarkan lagi. Okay, so kat sini dia bagi satu practice problem, bagi a couple. So kalau let's do the first one. So if I have 4 moles of a gas at a pressure of 5.6 atm and a volume of 12 liters, so what is the temperature? Okay, so kat sini kamu tak nampak any changes. Kita tak naikkan kita tak ada situasi macam dalam Boyle's problem tadi, kita tekan piston, so kita nampak pressure has changes. So one way to solve this, kita tekan. Okay. So dalam soalan tadi dia tanya, I'll show you saja kalau kamu nak buat along also can. Okay, so if I have 4 moles and pressure 5.6. So what I do is I write down dulu moles and so 4 moles kat sini. Pressure 5.6 atm. And then I have apa lagi? Write everything down. Volume 12 liter. What is the temperature? So volume is 12 liter. So what is the temperature kan? What is the temperature? So kalau kita nak guna PV equals to nRT, kita tahu kita nak cari temperature. So susun balik bagi jadi T as our unknown. So nR ni bawa ke bawah lah, PV bagi nR. So PV divided by nR. So we know the value of P, kita ada kat sini. The value of V also kita ada. The value of N also kita ada. The value of R is constant, iaitu 0.082006 liter atm per, let me scroll down, per mole Kelvin. This is the value of R, 0.082006. So, just fill in the blanks. P pressure, kamu mesti make sure the unit of the parameter ni mole, liter sama macam ini dalam R. So the volume dalam liter, pressure dalam atm, mole dalam mole lah, there's no other conversion. So baru boleh fill in. So pressure equals to 5.6 atm darab dengan volume 12 liter bahagi dengan N 4 mole darab dengan R 0.082006 dan unit dia yang panjang. Okay, so then kamu darablah macam biasa 5.6 darab 12 and then bahagikan dengan 4, you get the value of temperature kat sini. And then the unit of the temperature mesti dalam Kelvin because as you see the unit here dalam bentuk Kelvin. So kalau kamu tulis the unit masa kamu buat jalan kerja, kamu akan nampaklah liter atm mole Kelvin. So mole, yang mole kat sini dia dalam bahagi. So you cancel it out. ATM kat sini pun dengan ATM kat sini pun dia dalam bahagi. So you cancel it out. Liter kat sini pun dia bahagi. Liter bahagi liter, cancel each other out. So what is left is Kelvin. So if you write down the unit, kamu tak akan buat salah lah masa nak tulis unit dalam final answer. So the temperature unit dalam kalau kamu solve problems using this R value here akan dapat dalam unit Kelvin. So darab 5.6 darab 12 bahagi dengan 4 darab 0.082006, kamu akan dapat this X Kelvin. Okay, so itu sajalah yang saya bagi example for today. Takut tepu sangat. Alright, so that's it for class today. Kita akan buat another set of practice questions dalam our class next week. So kamu boleh read up dulu dalam bahagian dalam bahagian video dalam iTel. Nak kamu tengok one video, extend session please. Pergi dekat bahagian video lectures. I need you to watch, kalau boleh more than one lah, before our next class. This is your homework. So sekarang tengok video nombor, hari tu saya sudah tengok video nombor 21 dan 22 sebab gases. Okay, 21 dan 22, Introduction to Ideal Gas Law. So if you've seen the videos, you have some sort of idea lah about what we have been through today. So dalam video nombor 23 ni adalah a video explains how you don't have to memorize the gas law. You only memorize PV equals to nRT, kamu boleh derive all the other gas law. Sekarang saya nak kamu tengok video number 25, molar gas volume, stoichiometry with gases. Okay, so Professor Dave punya video ni short, maksimum pun 5 minit, 8 minit. So try to watch this video before our next class because this is our next topic lah dalam chapter 3. Next and final topic dalam chapter gases. Stoichiometry with gases. Okay, any question? Kalau tak ada apa-apa, okay, kalau tak ada apa-apa, make sure sign in attendance and thank you. Jumpa in our next class.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
sir. Bye, sir.
Bye bye. Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.